Hey everyone, I'm Ron, and today we're diving deep into the world of revenue operations software, specifically for sales and revenue leaders, like you. What do you need to know to really boost those numbers in 2025, right?
Yeah, I'm Nova, and I'm here to help kind of cut through all the noise, figure out which RevOps solutions can actually make a difference, for your business.
Exactly, and our roadmap for this deep dive is this brand new article, hot off the press, literally published today. It's
Mm.
called Top 10 Revenue Operations Software to Maximize Business Growth in 2025. I was really drawn to this one. It highlights the potential for a 10 to 20% sales productivity jump. I mean, come on, who wouldn't want to see that,
Oh,
right?
absolutely. And that's not just some random number. That figure comes from a BCG study, and it really highlights why RevOps is becoming so mission critical. But before we jump into the specific software, maybe we should take a step back. For those who might be thinking, oh, great, another buzzword, what does RevOps actually look like? In reality,
Yeah, it's easy to get lost in all the jargon. So imagine this, okay? Your sales team, your marketing team, your customer success team,
yeah.
all working together seamlessly, sharing data, strategies are aligned, all focused on that same North Star, revenue growth.
Right, exactly. Think of it like a well-conducted orchestra, right? Everyone's hitting the right notes at the right time, creating this
Mhm.
beautiful symphony of revenue. And the right RevOps software, that's like your conductor, making sure everyone's in sync, playing from the same sheet music.
I love that analogy. That's perfect. And this article, it highlights some key features to look for in these tools. Centralized data, that's a big one. No
Yeah.
more silos. Everyone's working from the same single source of truth. Real-time dashboards, it's huge, giving you an instant view of what's happening
Mm.
across that entire revenue engine.
Yeah, and those real-time dashboards are key for data-driven decision-making, for sure. But let's not forget about predictive analytics. I mean, using AI to take out the guesswork, right? The article mentions meet records specifically. They analyze conversations to help forecast deal success. Imagine knowing which deals are most likely to close. I mean, that's a game changer.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
But even with the best insights, you need a platform that can scale with your ambitions, right?
Mhm.
You don't want to outgrow your software just as you're hitting your stride.
Right, totally. Speaking of hitting your stride, let's take a look at some of the top 10 software options. The ones highlighted in the article. We've got a mix of really specialized tools and those comprehensive platforms, each with their own strengths and weaknesses, of course.
Yeah, exactly. And for this deep dive, we really want to focus on what matters most, for sales and revenue leaders. So first up, we've got Meet Record, which we just touched on briefly. They're all about AI-powered conversation intelligence, and they seem really focused on transparency with their pricing. Starting at just $39 per user, that's pretty appealing.
Yeah, that pricing model is definitely attractive,
Mhm.
especially for smaller teams just starting out. But I do wonder, can that intuitive UI they're known for, can it really handle the complexity of enterprise level sales? Sometimes oversimplification, it can be a double-edged sword.
Yeah, that's a great point. It's tempting to go for the shiniest, most user-friendly option, but you don't want to sacrifice functionality for the sake of ease of use, right? Okay, so next on the list we have Gong. They're a big player in the revenue intelligence space, for sure, known for deep insights, but they can be pretty pricey and potentially a bit complex to implement.
Yeah, that's often the trade-off with these really powerful tools. You've got to weigh the investment against your specific needs and resources. If you've got a lean team, tight budget, GOM might be overkill.
Yeah, on the other hand, if you've got the resources
Yeah.
and you really want to squeeze every ounce of insight from your data, Gong could be worth the premium. It's all about finding that sweet spot, right, between functionality and affordability.
Absolutely. And speaking of finding that sweet spot, let's talk about Clary. They're all about forecasting, helping you spot those risks and opportunities lurking in your pipeline, giving you a clear vision of what's coming down the road so you can make those strategic adjustments, to hit those ambitious revenue targets.
Okay, so if forecasting accuracy is your top priority, Clary might be the one to check out. Then we got good old HubSpot,
Mm.
right? The user-friendly all-in-one platform. I'm sure many of you are already using them in some capacity.
Yeah, HubSpot's definitely a crowd pleaser, especially for businesses already using their ecosystem. But the question is, can their one-size-fits-all approach? Can it really handle the complexities of a rapidly scaling sales organization? Can it provide that granular control, the customization that larger teams often need?
That's a valid concern, for sure. HubSpot's strength is its ease of use, its broad feature set.
Hmm.
But it might not be ideal for businesses with very specific or intricate workflows. It's all about finding the right tool for the job, right?
Absolutely. And speaking of tools built for specific jobs, let's talk about Salesforce Revenue Cloud, the enterprise heavyweight. Known for its power, its comprehensive features. But it can also be quite resource intensive to implement and manage.
Yeah, Salesforce, that's a beast. If you're a large enterprise with a dedicated team of Salesforce experts, it can be a real powerhouse. But for smaller or mid-sized businesses, it can be a bit like using a sledgehammer to crack a nut.
Right, and the cost alone can be a major barrier, for some organizations. But it is worth noting, Salesforce has been making strides to be more accessible, to a wider range of businesses.
That's true. They've been investing heavily to make their platform more user-friendly, offering more flexible pricing options. But it's still a platform that requires a significant commitment in terms of time, resources, and expertise, for sure.
Exactly. And that brings us to a crucial point. Choosing the right RevOps platform isn't about picking the most popular option, or even the one with the most features. It's about aligning the tool with your specific goals, your team size, your budget, and your existing tech stack.
Right. It makes sense. We wouldn't expect a small startup to use the same tools as a Fortune 500 company, right?
Yeah.
It's all about finding the right fit for your specific circumstances.
Exactly. And speaking of finding the right fit, let's dive deeper into those top 10 software options, shall we? See how they stack up against each other, explore their key features, pricing models, ideal use cases, help you figure out which platform might be the best fit, for your revenue goals.
All right. Sounds like a plan. Let's get into it.
All right, so let's talk about some of the other big names in RevOps. One that comes to mind is ZoomInfo, a real powerhouse for account-based marketing, or ABM, as the cool kids call it.
Yeah, ZoomInfo, definitely. If you're looking to target those high-value accounts with laser focus, but of course that level of precision, it comes with a price tag.
Exactly. Their features are impressive. I mean, their database, the analytics, it's all top-notch. But that pricing, it can be a bit steep, especially for, organizations with smaller budgets.
So it's a balancing act, weighing that potential ROI against the upfront investment. If ABM is a core part of your growth strategy, and you've got the budget to support it, ZoomInfo could be a game changer. But smaller teams, or if you're just starting out with ABM, it might be wise to, explore some other options, maybe some more budget-friendly ones.
Yeah, for sure. And speaking of exploring options, let's talk about Chorus by ZoomInfo. They use AI to analyze sales calls, provide insights for coaching and strategy improvement. Sounds like a sales manager's dream, right?
It does. Very powerful. But I wonder, is it maybe a bit too sales-focused? For a truly holistic RevOps approach, I mean.
Right.
RevOps is about aligning the entire revenue engine, right? Sales, marketing, customer success, it's all got to work together. Does it go beyond just sales conversations?
That's the key question, right? Chorus is great at breaking down sales interactions, identifying areas for improvement, sure, but it might be a bit too narrow for organizations that need a more comprehensive RevOps solution, one that integrates data and insights across all those revenue-generating functions.
So if you're really focused on improving sales coaching and strategy, Chorus could be a great asset. But if you need a platform that provides a more holistic view, of your entire revenue operations, you might need to keep looking.
Exactly. Okay, so let's shift gears a bit. Talk about Productive. This one's specifically for service-based businesses. They're all about providing clarity on revenue potential by tracking billable hours, project profitability, all that good stuff.
Sounds perfect for agencies, consultants, anyone who bills their time, but probably not as useful for product-focused companies, right? The ones generating revenue through sales transactions, not billable hours.
Exactly. Productive strength is those granular insights into the financial performance of service-based businesses, helping them optimize pricing, resource allocation, ultimately boosting profitability.
So if you're running a service-based business, looking for a RevOps solution that really speaks your language, Productive is definitely worth checking out.
For sure. Now, for those who love customization and control, there's Creatio. Their no-code platform lets you tailor workflows to your exact needs. No developers needed.
No-code platforms, they're getting really popular, and for good reason. It's about democratizing technology, right? Letting anyone build and modify applications, no coding required. Very powerful concept. But I imagine there's still a bit of a learning curve, even with no code.
Yeah, that's true. You don't need to be a coding expert with Creatio, that's for sure. But you still need to understand the platform, the interface, the logic, the capabilities. But for organizations with complex workflows that need a lot of customization, Creatio's flexibility could be a huge advantage.
Sounds like a good option for those willing to invest the time to really master the platform, build those custom workflows.
Absolutely. All right, and finally, let's wrap up our exploration of the top 10 with MediaFly. They offer a really interesting approach to pipeline visibility, using AI to give you a clear picture of your sales pipeline's health and progress.
That's got to be incredibly valuable, especially for sales leaders who are always trying to identify bottlenecks, optimize their sales process, make data-driven decisions, all that. But who's MediaFly best suited for?
Well, based on the article, it seems like they're targeting mid-market and larger enterprises. Companies with more complex sales processes, companies that really need those advanced analytics. Their platform seems geared towards providing deep insights and granular control, the kind that larger sales organizations often need.
So smaller businesses, simpler sales processes, MediaFly might be a bit much. But if you're a large organization, complex sales pipeline, and you need that deep level of visibility and analysis, MediaFly could be a perfect fit.
So we've looked at all these different RevOps options. I think it's time to address the big question. How do you actually choose the right platform? For your specific needs, it can be a bit overwhelming, all these choices.
It can be, yeah. Sifting through all the options, trying to figure out which one aligns with your goals, your budget, your tech stack. Luckily, this article gives us a helpful framework to navigate that decision-making process.
It really comes down to three key steps. Define your business goals, assess your team's size and budget, and prioritize integrations with your existing tools. Maybe we can break those down a bit.
Yeah, let's do that. So step one, define your business goals. Seems obvious, but it's crucial to be clear on what you're trying to achieve. Well, with RevOps, I mean. Are you trying to improve pipeline visibility, boost forecasting accuracy, streamline your sales process, enhance collaboration once you know your top priorities? Then you can start evaluating platforms based on their ability to deliver in those specific areas.
Yeah, exactly. Aligning your tech choices with your strategic objectives. Makes sense, right? Okay, step two. Assess your team's size and your budget. A small startup with a lean team and limited budget. They don't need a massive platform like Salesforce. And a large enterprise with complex workflows and a dedicated IT team. They're not going to be happy with a bare-bones solution. One designed for solopreneurs.
Right. It's all about finding that balance, a platform that can scale with your growth, but also stay within your budget. You don't want to outgrow your software too quickly, but you also don't want to pay for features you'll never use.
And last but definitely not least, prioritize integrations. Your RevOps platform has got to work with your existing tools, your CRM, marketing automation tools, all the essential systems. Data silos, those are the enemy of effective RevOps. You need a platform that plays nicely with your tech stack.
Seamless data flow is so important for a unified view of your customer journey and to give your teams the insights they need to make those informed decisions. So before you commit to any platform, make sure you really check out those integration capabilities.
Great point. Choosing the right RevOps platform is a big decision, not something to take lightly. But if you follow these steps, define your goals, assess your resources, prioritize integrations, you'll increase your chances of finding the right solution, the one that'll empower your teams and drive revenue growth.
It's a journey, not a destination.
Right.
And you need the right map and the right tools.
Exactly. So we've talked about choosing the right platform. Now let's talk about implementation. Even the best RevOps platform won't deliver results if it's not implemented effectively. And remember that statistic we mentioned earlier, 72% of RevOps projects fail because of poor adoption strategies.
Yeah, that's a scary number.
Yeah.
It really highlights how important it is to get buy-in from your teams and set them up for success from the very beginning. So how do we avoid becoming another statistic?
Well, it all starts with preparation and alignment, really. Before you even think about launching a new platform, you got to assess your team's readiness. Are they comfortable with data-driven decisions? Do they even understand the benefits of RevOps? Have you addressed any concerns they might have? About the change, I mean.
Yeah, it's important to get everyone on board. You can't just throw new software at people and expect them to love it. You got to lay the groundwork, right? Create that culture of data-driven collaboration.
Exactly. Involve your sales, marketing, and customer success leaders. Early on, make sure they're on board with the vision, the whole thing. They need to understand how the new system will affect them. Their workflows, I mean. Remember, RevOps is a team sport. Everyone needs to be on the same page.
And once you've got that buy-in, it's time to figure out the right metrics, the KPIs. How will you measure success? What are the key indicators that you're actually moving in the right direction?
Yeah, the article talks about pipeline health, conversion rates, customer retention. Those are some essentials. But you might need to tweak those a bit, based on your specific goals, of course. Like, if you want to shorten sales cycles, you might track things like average deal velocity or the time spent in each stage of the pipeline.
Right, and if you're focused on improving forecasting accuracy, you might track forecast variance or the percentage of deals closed on time. The key is to choose metrics that align with your goals, metrics that give you insights into how effective your RevOps strategy really is.
And those metrics. They should be easy to track within your chosen platform. That's why it's so important to think about reporting and analytics, during that evaluation process.
Yeah, you don't want to be stuck manually pulling data from a bunch of different sources. Your RevOps platform should make it easy to track progress and identify areas for improvement. Speaking of improvement, training is huge.
Absolutely. You wouldn't give someone a fancy sports car without teaching them how to drive it, right? Same goes for RevOps software. You got to equip your team with the knowledge and skills they need to actually use the platform effectively, to unlock its full potential.
And it's not just about the initial training. Ongoing support, coaching, that's all essential too.
For sure, regular check-ins, Q&A sessions, maybe even create some internal resources like knowledge bases, training videos, that kind of thing. All of that can help with platform adoption and drive those results you're looking for.
So big picture here. What's the ultimate goal of all this RevOps effort?
It's about aligning your whole organization around revenue growth, breaking down those silos between sales, marketing, customer success, creating a seamless, data-driven approach to generating revenue.
And remember that BCG study we talked about?
Yeah, B2B companies using RevOps, they see a 10 to 20% increase in sales productivity. That's a huge advantage in today's market.
Absolutely. It's not just about working harder, it's about working smarter. RevOps gives your teams the insights, the tools, the processes to be more efficient, more strategic, and ultimately more successful at driving revenue. So to all you sales and revenue leaders out there, I hope this deep dive has given you a better understanding of RevOps, why it's so important in today's world.
It's been a really interesting conversation. We've covered a lot of ground, from the basic principles to the leading software platforms, and how to successfully implement all of it.
If you're still relying on old methods, disconnected systems, it's time to seriously consider RevOps. Your competitors might already be ahead of the game.
And remember, implementing RevOps, it's not a one-time thing. It's an ongoing journey. Optimization, continuous improvement, that's what it's all about. Embrace that mindset. Invest in the right tools. Empower your teams. The results can be amazing.
This is just the start of the conversation. Dive deeper, explore the resources out there, start thinking about how RevOps can help your organization grow.
The future of revenue generation, it's data-driven, it's aligned, it's strategic, and RevOps is the key to unlocking that future.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll be back soon with more insights to help you navigate the world of sales and revenue. Until then, keep those revenue engines running.